From the studios of TLC Talk Radio, it's DT on our minds. I'm your girl, Tasha.
And I'm that fat girl, Dana.
Don't forget to follow us on all of our social media pages, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course, YouTube. Catch us daily on TLCTalkRadio.com, 24/7 edutainment. And we, friend, are in the same space.
What?
Now, our table is circular. So for those of you watching the video, you're like, they still kind of, see, we are purposely kind of not.
Yeah.
Normally we look at each other more. We trying to.
We're 6 feet from the camera.
We're 6 feet from you. This is nuts. No. But we are careful. We are, when we exit our homes, we wear our masks, even if they make us have stupid acne and stuff.
This right here.
Listen, so I wear my sunglasses all year. People think that's funny. I'm like, isn't the sun out all year? What's wrong with y'all?
Right. And when it snows, it's glary. I can't see.
Look at you using your brain because you went to science class, and also you can see.
Well, that too.
But when it's when it's very warm out, when it's summer, then I'm sweating more around my nose, and so then I break out more there. So now we add to it, thanks coronavirus, the mask piece.
Yeah.
And now I've got little zits that show up down here, and I'm like, for real?
Yeah.
So
I'm like, I'm almost 49 years old. No, this got to go. It's not that I don't wash my face or wash my mask.
Of course.
It's just I have to wear it for so long for work.
Sure. Yeah. Boo.
Yeah.
Boo for that. Yeah. No, I completely get it. So I just kind of chuckled. I text Dana this morning and said, what are we talking about today? Well, because it's just randomly what's on our minds. And and when you brought that up, I just started laughing. Yep, that's a great topic because I was upset. Witch hazel on deck. Lots and lots of it for me.
See, witch hazel kind of irritates my skin.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's different for everybody.
I use apple cider vinegar, and then I have this new face wash that I'm trying, and it seems to break out the rest of my face. So,
boo.
But I think that's just pulling the impurities out.
Sure.
So I'm going to use it for a couple more weeks and see what happens.
See what happens. Yeah, I've been on top of my water intake. I know that helps too. So anything that was impure is going to be aggravated when we put on these different things.
Right.
So yeah, agreed.
But me, I drink gallons of water a day, so that's not my issue.
No, it's just your skin is sensitive. That's what it is. It's a combination for me. Yeah. It's not sensitive. It's mad.
Unlike you, get off my face.
Me, see, I like water and I'll drink it, but if there is an option, then I'm always going to go for the option, which is why I don't buy a lot of stuff.
Right.
So I keep juice in the house for when honey's over. He ain't got no juice. I just took the garbage out because, you can't leave me in the house alone with juice. I'm gonna have to go on back to the store. And I drink his coffee creamer. So yeah,
Do you have a thing where if it's not open, you won't touch it, but if it's open, you'll eat?
Not at all. If it's there.
That. Because if it's for someone, if it's not open, I'm not touching it. But if it's open, I might touch it.
I send Timothy text messages. I drink your creamer. And he says, that's our creamer. Okay. All right, as long as we clear. But if you leave me alone with it,
it's gonna go.
It'll be all right. I'm just, the next time I'm out, I'll pop in the grocery store because I don't, I lost my mind here grocery shopping, and I ran into a meat wholesaler.
Oh.
They advertised on Facebook, and I was familiar with them, and so they were trying to get rid of food before it went bad, and me and mommy and daddy, our freezers are good for a long time. I was like, oh, we just got that summer money, let me shop for the summer. So yeah, honey, your steaks are here with your creamer.
They gone.
Yeah. Anyway, how you been?
I've been okay. I'm having because I've worked this whole time.
Sure.
I really want a vacation.
Yeah.
But now, everyone's out, so
Scary.
I have to work
Yeah.
because they're there.
Yes, that work piece is kind of important.
I'm kind of tired of working. I'm ready for my millionaire status. so
Hallelujah. As am I.
Make that happen.
Listen, I am working on it. And if you want to advertise here on TLCTalkRadio.com, give us a call at give us a call. Send us an email at info@TLCTalkRadio.com.
We'd really appreciate that.
Man, because, no, I get it. I'm ready to just walk in my purpose. I know that part of my purpose is education.
Right.
This summer, for the second year, I'm teaching media to 5th and 6th graders. Now, the difference is it's virtual.
Okay.
So we've all had to be very creative.
Right.
And it's working. I was laughing today at the children's discussion about what they're going to do. This final set of projects is going to be a series of how-to videos. And this baby was like, oh, I'm going to talk about how to download whatever these things are for NBA 2K.
Okay.
And so while I understand
Like
basketball
cheat
plays,
I'm going cheat code.
I don't know. It wasn't a cheat code. He called it something else, and I can't. It was in my head all morning, but now I
And now
can't.
it's gone.
It's gone. But as he was talking, I understand the game. But as he began to tell me, he gave me his script. I'm reading it with him, and I'm like, so this is clear to you as a gamer,
Right.
but your audience is not just gamers.
Right.
So someone who's video game illiterate, Ms. Clapton, needs more explanation.
Right.
But I got an opportunity to see them get excited about their project. So being creative, every morning I'm looking at, okay, let me make sure this is a good lesson. Let me make sure because it's hard to keep babies engaged over the internet.
Especially since they have everything else at their disposal at home.
Sure.
But I actually remember doing that at Second City.
Really?
Yes, we had to do a how-to speech, I guess. And mine was how to stay hydrated and drunk at Pride.
Now there's a lesson.
Yes, because you start early.
I mean,
You start with mimosas.
I go to the bathroom too much as it is. So that's why I don't do a lot of outdoor fests. I will, but we have to have identified every restroom wherever.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
I have the bladder
There's
of a
ways to,
95-year-old.
Avoid that.
Yeah, that doesn't work for me. I remember going to be my girlfriend's, went for my girlfriend Nikki's birthday. We went to Aruba when Doug Banks was alive. And of course, I had been in Aruba an hour and a half before we talked our way onto his show. R.I.P. Doug. He was so great. And obviously it was the Aruba Soul Fest. So it was concerts and all that fun stuff. So I cut my liquids off that first night of concerts at about 3 p.m. I was like, no, you won't get me. So my bladder was like, haha, that's what you think. And so I'm running to the bathroom the whole night. And I was like, I could have just ate and drank whatever I wanted. But these porta potties were amazing. First of all, they were all pristine white and they had a staff. So every time someone came out, they'd be like, excuse me. And they would go in and clean.
Oh. Wow.
Okay, then.
Okay.
So the next night I was like, hell, I'm going to eat whatever it is I want to eat whenever I want to eat it because whatever, my bladder does what it wants to do. And then I didn't have to go. Really?
That's pretty shady.
I'm the lady in that OAB commercial that's dragging her bladder. I'm sorry, the bladder's dragging her.
We got to go over here.
I am not that old.
It doesn't matter. Apparently, that's just where you're at.
And this is why I don't do road trips. Please don't invite me. Unless you're clear that we're going to stop all the time.
Oh, I don't care. I'll stop.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to not be that way, but I drink a lot of water.
A lot of water. Yeah.
So I had to stop quite often.
Yeah. I could not drink any water and we would still have to. It's like my body's ridiculous. Like, what's this?
Well, at least you don't retain water all the time.
No. Amen.
So, you know.
Yeah, count my blessings, right?
There you go. Because you could just sit here and be...
Yeah, that would not be good. Boo. That sounds like a strain on the body.
A little bit.
Yeah, I'm not. No thanks, not a fan, as you say.
Not a fan.
Not a fan.
You know what I'm not a fan of? Looters. Not a fan of them.
Not at all. Understood. And so I feel the same. So everything happened when George Floyd was murdered. And I was oblivious to what was going on because I'm one of the few people allowed in the church. So I had been there since very early. I think we had to record something. So I had Pastor meet me at like 8 o'clock, 8:30. I missed, and I don't watch a lot of news all the time.
Right.
I have to because this is what I do.
Right.
But it had gotten to the point where I was like, for a minute,
I just don't want to hear about COVID.
I gotta, yeah. And that's kind of when it kicked off.
Right. Exactly.
So, we do our thing at church, make sure the stream goes out. And I plan to meet my girlfriend in her yard to social distance. I hadn't seen her in years. Fine, I'll swing your way or whatever. In the middle of us being in the yard, my phone started ringing. And everybody's like, where you at? Go home. Huh? Where you at? Go home. What now? What's happening? Go home. I said, okay.
I'm not saying this again.
I was like, all right then, girl, I gotta go. These people are my age telling me what to do. Because I had not turned on my phone, any of that.
Right.
I made it home. I saw that there were closings. Made it home. And at that point, I was like, okay, let me see what's going on.
Right.
Well, yeah. So I text honey, where are you? Where are the boys? He said, the boys are fine.
That's not what I asked.
I asked you a set of questions, and you're a communicator for a living. So I'm going to ask you again. And I don't want to be,
right,
bitchy. I ain't his mama. I don't operate like that because you can't tell me what to do. You're not my pop.
Right.
I get it. But I was like,
we in a crisis, and you ain't here.
I'm glad your children are safe. Great. Where you at though? And of course he was covering it. He's in the industry, so he's fine, obviously, because I've told him I drank all his creamer. But the next morning, my girlfriend called and she said, how are your parents on food? And I said, I'm sure they're fine because like my mother, I have 3 refrigerators, so I know that they're good.
Right.
But she alarmed me. So we met. She lived in Homewood.
Okay.
Excuse me, she lives in Glenwood. Homewood's the nearest shopping area to her. She couldn't get to anything. Everything was shut down. So when she said that we're up at 5:30 with birds, and she said, I need to get some stuff for my mama. I said, meet me at Strack and Van Til because it's right here in Indiana. And we met up and we walked that store very slowly, buying everything. When I went to my parents' house, I left because my mother was like, I called her and said, I need your stuff. What do you need? And she said, how am I going to get it? You want me to come get it? No, crazy lady. I'm faster than you. I'm coming to you. I had literally driven the very same route to church the day before, and I stopped by their house. So I knew, what the area looked like before things happened.
Right.
Girl, I came back through and I looked to the point where I had to slow down and take pictures because nobody was out on the road.
Right.
Seriously? So I always make the distinction, and I know already, before the listeners, before they run away with it if they're not informed, that there's a difference between a protester and a looter.
Exactly.
Exactly. And the way that the looters tore up a neighborhood that is already dealing with challenges. Wasn't that a nice way to say it?
Yes. That was a very nice way. Very tactful.
I couldn't believe, because now My mother couldn't go get my father's medicine. My girlfriends couldn't go get their medicines. What the hell?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What the hell? So yeah, I was very upset.
I don't blame you. They closed down Joann's. We were supposed to get in that night, and they were like, "No,
wrap.
We're closing at 4. Bye."
Get out.
I was like, "Okay,
Please go home."
yeah, get out of here." 'Cause it's crazy because they did hit on 41 in Cherville. They hit like the Old Navy and
Really?
yeah,
you know
that
what?
whole plaza, all the windows were gone.
I drove by there. Why was I going to Home Depot? Because I needed stuff. Clorox. I did see that there was the jack, the truck jack, the thing with the ladderized. I don't know what it's called, but they were over there fixing
cherry
something.
picker?
That's it. Get your money. And I knew that. We'll talk about why I know that at the end. It's hilarious. But I couldn't see because it looks like repairs maybe have been done.
Right.
And maybe I was going faster. Don't worry about that.
I don't know anything about it.
What did you say? Nothing.
Nothing.
But I didn't realize that it happened. Go ahead. So wow.
Yeah, they hit there. I don't know who they are, but somebody hit.
Somebody tore up.
Yeah. There's a small plaza in Stager that all the windows were gone. Yeah. I'm like, okay. On Facebook, you heard other places were hit, but then found out that they weren't. And I was like, well, why are we lying? Like, what is the purpose of that? Like,
People are
it's
crazy.
bad enough as it is. Let's lie about it? No. Come on.
Because that makes sense.
Right. Oh, it's good. People.
Yeah, that's it. That sounds like our friend Don Clark. He has a shirt that says "People, not a fan."
Not a fan.
I love people, and then people get on my flipping nerves. That is not the F word I wanted to go with.
I love people who I know. The rest of you can just fall off the planet. It's fine.
No! Yikes!
I didn't say die. I just said fall off the planet.
That's gonna imply death. Just
Not
so
necessarily.
we're all clear.
There's, I'm
gonna just move on.
you never know.
Yeah.
What?
Y'all better stop bothering Dana. She wants you to fall off the planet.
Well, it's working retail is really, because I worked retail and was a manager for the longest time in my 20s, and people.
Are you referring
stuff
to
away.
Are you referring to people that you managed, or the customers, or both?
Customers.
Okay.
They just walk around and just put
deposit things
everywhere.
wherever.
Just why? And then get up to the register with like 90 items. Go, I really don't want half of this. Well, then you should put it back, because I didn't pick it up and move it over here, did I?
That's a lesson you should learn at home. Put things back.
Yeah, put it back where you found it.
Incredible.
Really not that hard.
It is not.
But people just don't care.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, so it takes like an extra hour for us to close because we got to put your crap back.
I remember my cousin Shuby was working at Target, and she mentioned that to me. And not that I didn't do it, but I always remembered that. Anytime today, and this was more than 20 years ago, anytime I walk into a store today, if I pick something up and I don't want it anymore, I'm walking it right back.
Right.
I take the cart right back to the cart station. You know, I don't want, karma's real. I don't want the thing to hit my darn car.
Right.
So I'm going to put man back, and hopefully
You will too.
right, you know, but people.
Not a fan.
I knew you were coming. See,
Not a fan at all.
I knew it. I love most people there, but we talked about earlier in the show not watching the news. What was happening to me is I was completely going off watching TV.
Yeah.
Like roaming through the and Timothy heard me one day, and he was like, Hey, you right?
No, I'm not.
That was months ago, but I was snapping, and he was just like, "You're just so calm normally, and happy and smiling." You get so frustrated, so I don't watch the news in the morning because I feel like it will void out all my morning worship and prayer.
See, I watch WGN in the morning because at 9 o'clock it's no longer news.
Yeah, they're fun. I learned that since the pandemic because
it's like I've hung out there during the 9 o'clock news, like actually on set.
Yeah.
And it's not the news anymore. So, I mean, there's like, we're going to feed you, a little bit of weather. We're going to give you the top stories, but we're going to make fun of everything else.
Yeah, they're hilarious.
And that's what I like.
They are hilarious. I like when they fall out laughing. Like, I would fit right in.
Yes. So, WGN. If you're looking for us, we're here.
Stand-ins. Subs. Anytime they don't feel good. Right. But I'm sure they love coming to work.
Right. Well, and half of them aren't coming to work. They're just doing it from their homes, which is better. Funnier.
Because, you lose your whole mind.
Yes.
And I'm a lunatic. Like, those who know me personally, they already know. If you follow me on Tasha Talks with a Z, you saw the face I made yesterday. Well, it depends on when you're listening. But I just kept hearing so much stupid stuff. And so before I got out of my car, I snapped a picture of the face I make. And that face is also called the Peter Clopton what the F face. Because my daddy is the most calm and serene man. Mm-hmm. But when you get him to that point, before he opens his mouth, it's this look that makes you feel so small. I chuckle because my brother got it more than me. I didn't want to, nope. And that was the look I had. Like, as I get older, when I was younger, I looked just like my mother. Mm-hmm. As I get older, I look like Pop. Okay. And so that face was just, switch out the hair and the complexion, and that's Pop. Minus the lip gloss. That would upset him and Mama. Hey, we ain't signed up for this. But yeah, absolutely. And so that's the kind of look I would have watching the new. And I just said, I'd rather watch Forensic Files about murders.
Right. I've been watching Hannibal on Netflix. Yeah. The series Hannibal. It's rough.
I'm not gonna.
I know you're not gonna do it.
I'm a chicken.
It's kind of rough.
I'm straight.
Like, sometimes it just opens up and you're like, okay.
No. Boo. No. I can't take it.
No, you wouldn't. No.
Remember, I'm the girl who asked the funeral director to close my uncle's casket before I walked in so I could set up the video that was to play in the background. Right. And after my mother told me off, I still asked the lady to close.
It just needs to happen.
I don't care what you say. I'm not offended by these insults. Still closing. Thanks.
A little.
And then you can open it back when I step out of the sanctuary. Have a good day. She did it for me. So yeah, I'm the chicken in any friend group. Chicken. Speaking of friend groups, my girlfriends and I have made plans to go to the March on Washington in August. I felt like we needed to be there. Before I speak to everybody, get us right. We haven't really done much protesting here. Mm-hmm. And we just haven't. There's no real reason behind it. But as I realized this was happening, one of my girlfriends reached out and asked, are you all going to this? And I said, me and a couple people had mentioned it, but we hadn't really talked about it. So I shot a text to this friend group, and my cousin, she'll be, hey girl. She said, have I been under a rock? There's another. And I said, it's okay. We've been inundated with a lot of things. Uh-huh. And like we talked about, we haven't really been watching the news. Mm-hmm. And so I screenshot her.
Actually, this is the
dates.
You telling me earlier was the first time I heard of it.
So I said, what do you guys think? I ain't going by myself. And she said, I keep thinking about how my father said he felt when he left the Million Man March. I said, so what does that mean? She said, that means I'm going. I said, great. And so by then, now everybody's chiming in. And I'm like, well, let's look at plane tickets. Like, I understand that they're really cheap. Of course they are. They're really cheap.
now.
And so we all bought our tickets.
Okay.
Kyra and I are coming in early because we have family in DC. But, you know, we've made our arrangements. I've ordered custom t-shirts because, of course, I have. And custom earrings. And I'm thinking about how I'm going to cover it because no way am I going
And not covering it?
absolutely.
Right.
So, you know, we booked all of our travel arrangements. We're good. This will be the first time my parents hear about it.
Eh.
Hey, parents. Because, you know, in your parents' mind, you're always 3.
Yes.
And I understand. So I'm not, you know, I'm still going. I'm real grown.
Just know that it's happening.
Right. I'm real grown. But I just felt like it was important to be there. I don't know what that's going to look like. I don't know what that is going to mean, but it was just really important as I look back and pay attention to the things we were taught, the sacrifices made. Why wouldn't I go?
Right. Well, that's kind of like how I felt when the protests were happening in Standing Rock.
Okay.
I really felt connected to it, but I didn't actually end up going, and I kind of really feel empty by that.
Empty?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Like, it meant, like, I'm not even Native American, okay? But I've always felt connected to them somehow. I do sweat lodge with my friend who is Native American, you know, every couple of months. And I've been doing that for about 10 years.
Yeah.
And I feel connected to the culture. When I was a kid, I was in Campfire, which was based on a lot of Native beliefs,
Sure.
systems and stuff like that. So I feel like I just didn't live up to who I'm supposed to be by not going. Does that make any sense?
It makes sense. It does. I just don't want you to hold it.
Well, I'm not like anchored to it, but like when I think about it, I think I really should have gone.
It stings.
I really should have gone.
Okay, that's natural. I just didn't want you to be like, God dog it, I should have. And then, you know,
Right.
holding yourself, you know.
No, there's other things that I do
Sure.
that like most people wouldn't do. Like passing out food every Monday. Not everyone who works with me does that. There's only like 4 of us who actually come in every Monday and pass out food to the community.
Sure.
Because, yeah, I'm getting paid still, but it's not like I'm getting paid for, you know,
Right.
my whole week.
Understood.
But it's like I feel more connected to the community because I'm doing it.
Giving feels good,
Yes,
you know.
Yes.
Unless you're a sociopath.
there's that.
But giving feels good. It's why I do Ronald McDonald House
Right.
for my birthday. I don't need nothing else. I didn't plan on doing it this year. Normally, I would have booked my September giving here in June, but I don't know what that's going to look like.
Right. However, kids are still sick. They
Yeah.
take a break.
Yeah.
You know
So in my head, I'm probably going to send and cater.
Okay.
Because I don't know. I haven't even inquired. I'm thinking, are you going to let let strangers in?
Right.
Because this is the community kitchen that the families use.
Right.
My suggestion would be, no, you strangers can't come, but you can send something, you know,
Yeah.
and we can get it at the door or something like that. Because the rule is that you cook on site. You can't cook at home and then bring it. And yes, that is a great policy. But I would be nervous because the children are already sick about I know I'm fine, but what if, the person serving breakfast is nuts and not that
Well,
clean?
and the other thing is,
So-
with the way that hospitals are set up now, how many families can actually go in? Like, how many family members can actually be there? Because
Probably, yeah, because it's separate from the hospital.
Right.
But you're right. it's all those things you have to take into consideration.
Right.
So I
Like,
think
how
I will.
many people are actually staying at Ronald McDonald House because some of them can't go in and see their kids because of the pandemic. So
Yeah.
I don't know how that
will work.
we are in a different world. I have to wash down or sanitize after every customer that I ring out.
Sure.
And not everywhere does that.
Yeah. I mean,
Like, they don't.
and I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like when I see, the self-checkouts are more prevalent, but there's someone standing, and as the person leaves, then they come
spray it
in,
down.
they're like, hold on, let me get,
Yeah.
and they're using paper towels. Thank you for not reusing the towel.
But then I have almost a problem with that because now we are using so many things that we just throw away because, like, when we do food service, everything has to be individually wrapped. So that's like,
And people are not recycling.
Right.
That's the issue. Yeah.
right. So there's, all the more plastic going into the environment again.
Yeah, I want people to recycle.
But yeah, I'm not seeing that happen.
Yeah.
But we can only do our best.
Absolutely. And as we make people more aware, I think this is a great post positive right here. As we make people more aware, then we can remind them, hey, this is for everybody. The world has absolutely changed and it is not going to be business as usual.
Nope.
Maybe next week we can talk about what school is going to look like.
Yeah, that because I've heard some rumors of what the cafeteria is going to be, and I'm a little. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, that's next week on DT on Our Minds.
Yes. I'm like, ooh, that sounds.
We'll talk about our new world,
Fantastic.
particularly schools.
Yes.
From the studios of TLC Talk Radio, this has been DT on Our Minds. I'm your girl, Tasha.
And I'm that fat girl, Dana.
Don't forget to follow us on all of our social media pages, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and of course, catch us daily on TLCTalkRadio.com 24/7 edutainment. We'll catch you next week.
Peace.